Hello and a warm welcome back from the episode of the WenDirkCast with your hosts, of course, me, Jimbo, and Calvinator. As always, we will be discussing latest MFL updates, transfers, and developments, and so much more that has gone on over the last week or so. One important note before we kick off this episode, as we always like to say, none of what we chat about on here is financial advice. Certainly not, even though it may sound like it is, it's certainly not. Do your own scouting or hire a director of Metaverse Football. Calvinator, we have a returning guest after 66 weeks. Can you believe it? Over a year.
Yeah, no, it definitely a long time ago, but it was high time he made his comeback, his season 2 debut. He is a very valued member of the community. He also joins us a lot in our streams, and I think a lot of people use his tool, which is getting bigger and bigger, and I think is becoming, I would say, like a essential element in your MFL toolkit, right? If that exists, then this would be in there. So we're glad that he is here, and he's going to talk a lot about MFL Assistant because that is this amazing tool. So welcome back, Alexis. How are you doing?
Hello, good evening to both of you, and hello everyone. Great to be here. Glad to be here after more than a year. It's extremely great.
The 20th of December 2023. So almost two Christmases ago already. Let's say it like that.
Yes, I was expecting to come back like a bit earlier and to ask for invitation, but I was not feeling ready so far. So I didn't.
Well, maybe the season 3 we'll do a bit earlier. We'll get you back then.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, also depends, how much alpha you're gonna drop today. With like how quickly do you need to come back to address it. But more about that later. I have a feeling there will be something. Yes. Before we start with our updates, I think the stream I just mentioned that we had a pretty good pack drop. What do you think? The luck. What would you say the luck was? Pack luck from 1 to 10. Still not so good.
I feel like luck maybe like a 6 out of 10, maybe. Like definitely, I feel like there's some above average, mainly taken up by you, Calvin. Your reward packs you opened in the first 10 minutes, and there were a couple of upgrades, but nothing was amazing. But there's still some upgrades. Therefore, if there's upgrades, it's better than average. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, it was really fun, and we played laser tag. That was also great for many people. I think everyone got stressed out. Maybe that was good to take the pressure off for the drop, but it was really fun to play it. Alex, did you join?
Yes, I did join. I think
you got kicked out, didn't you?
I got kicked out on
the
second
kicked
part.
out. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But I was not performing well, so that was definitely fine for me.
Okay, you're already getting tagged a lot, let's say.
Yes, and regarding the packs, I haven't bought like any pack for the last 2 or 3 drops, and I'm fine with it so far. So I'm accepting that. Maybe since the new price actually, and I just feel that I have too many players comparing to the number of clubs I have. So I don't feel I need more actually.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to actually touch upon it later with the marketplace or the diamond. We talked about packs last week, so maybe what did we do in the end? Maybe fun to talk about that because we were speculating a little bit. All right, so more about that. Oh, first, Jimbo, one more thing.
I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who tuned into the stream. I always say every week, big thank you to everyone who listens to the pod and listens to the stream. You're probably sick of it by now, but it was fantastic stream. Alexis, I know you re-subbed, so a massive thank you for that during the stream as well. But then we gained 16 subs, and 5 of them were gifted by Kev and 5 by Zuta, which is unbelievable generosity. So it's just great to see the community sort of tuning in, having fun, but also, being generous with those subscriptions. So from behalf of Calvin and I, massive thank you to all of you who tune in and sub and follow, etc. It's good fun. And not a thank you to those who ask for me changing my shirts, because that does get on my nerves. No, I joke. It's good fun.
Yeah. And I think Zuta really has so much karma that the next time he must pack some legendaries, because he keeps being so generous and then keeps showing all the packs, and every time it becomes a bit of a meme. So
yeah,
he will get a legendary.
One more pack for luck.
Exactly.
And then he always goes, "Fuck this! Like, why did I open that? Why did I ever open
one more pack will fix it." That's like the thing.
One more pack.
Okay, let's get started with the updates. Maybe let's start with Alexis for a change with our guests. What would be your moment of the past week? Your MFL moment of the week?
Yeah, right now it's everything about preparing the teams. So I would say that I'm definitely happy with my A team, which is in bronze, which is the Pikachu team, and have done maybe about 30, 40 friendly matches against,
Oh, wow. Testing.
similar opponents. Like I'm 80, 76 overall, and I did against 880 or 900, and I'm performing well. So I'm definitely ready for the incoming season, and I'm extremely happy about the results so far. So yes, I cannot wait Wednesday right now to have the first match on the championship, and waiting for that definitely. And this is my highlight here.
Now you promoted to bronze, right? I think you were in my Iron League.
Yes.
With, my Polish side,
yes.
Husarze. Yeah,
Exactly.
They were almost getting there. A little bit annoying you, but you were too strong, I think.
Did you get promoted with the playoffs?
No. I was like,
okay.
I think I just ended 4th, so I just didn't make that that playoff. But yeah, great. So you are really testing. We always say we're gonna test, but you are actually testing. So
yeah, I do.
That is good.
Yes, I was always doing with the A team. Now I try to do with more teams. But when you have 6, 7, 8 teams, that's a lot of time to spend.
Yeah,
actually.
Exactly. So Jimbo, what about you then? No testing.
No, not as much testing. No, a similar story though, with the same lines as what Alexis was just saying. I've been pretty happy with how I've brought in players for the Wyverns in bronze this season. I'm always excited for every single season of MFL. The first season I was really excited because it was season 1, and the season 2 and season 2 and season 3. I was excited, but I knew I was a weaker side going into the league, so I was a bit like, "Oh, this could be a bit of a uncomfortable season, and one where I'm just having to witness draws and losses and not much green on my my match history." But I've brought in, I think I'm about 880 now, so it's sort of, I feel like it's average for bronze. It's like a comfortable level, although I know Calva and David SR Monkey listening to this, 880 is actually sort of like mid to bottom of our league because how competitive our bronze league is.
Sure.
But I've brought in quite a few players. A big thanks to people like Dio, for example, who I managed to grab a few from him, and some other users. So I'm actually sort of really excited for bronze this season because the past 2 I've been the solid favourite for relegation both times, like rock bottom, and I've managed to escape out of even the relegation playoffs both times. I'm hoping that maybe with a bit of a stronger side, I can try and push up there a bit and get some more MFL. So incoming strength, but I've not done as much testing apart from I've played Calva a few times and conceded like 4 but scored like 12. That doesn't really translate into anything because it's a bit like friendlies in real life. You can do a lot of friendlies and they go well. That first match day hits, different story. It just feels different. It's not a different engine, but it feels like it is.
Yeah, definitely. But will be crazy bronze league, I think. And you before you were a bit afraid, of like putting Arango on your side, but now it's needed in bronze.
I'm still afraid. I'm still afraid of Arango. He's a great player. Like he's only 79 rated, but he's 19 years old. No, 20 now. He's getting grey hairs now. He's 20 now. But when I've watched him previously, he just doesn't feel like he performs well. So I really need to watch him on my team this year to actually decide, is this one of those players that in the engine just does not perform? He just, is he
quite unexpectedly, I would
Nunes?
Say, right? He has great stats, but for somehow...
He has great stats, yeah. He just doesn't perform well. So I really don't know. And that's been the story since season 0.1, just doesn't perform. So it's clearly a player issue, not an engine issue.
He's a striker.
He's a striker, yeah.
And how do you play him?
So I play him. What do you mean by how do I play him? But he's up top in a top 2 in a 3-5-2.
Right. And he has a good passes because recently I reckon that maybe the pass has a huge impact when you have 2 strikers.
Do you know what? Let me have a look. No, he's not got a great passing stat. But a lot of my team is built around passing below the 2 strikers. But he's got really high pace, shooting and dribbling. So maybe, Alexis, I'll take that knowledge away, and I'll have a little play around with some higher passing.
Do some testing with that.
I'll do some testing.
Yeah. Interesting.
I do have a third striker who's a right mid who plays better as a striker, and because he's a right mid, he's got good passing. Therefore, his passing as a striker is like 77. There's like a 76 rated striker. So I might have a little play around and see if I put Arango next to him or whatever. There's my testing. There we go. That's my takeaway from that's going to be my testing. Thank you for that.
Great test. Next week we'll hear how that went.
Shockingly, probably.
With the testing. Yeah, so
What you cover?
So my moment of the week maybe follows up also from last week, because then I bought a new club, which is from my hometown, and I was like, okay, I need to get this one, and I can play more players, taking a bit more, under my own management. But then this week I saw a very cheap license from Gdansk in Poland, where I also lived, and I was like, and I need to get this club too, I thought. But I had a good reason, because I have 2 stone clubs, and this was an iron license, and actually that stone team is also semi-stacked, as I call it. And with those, sorry?
How much was the iron license?
How much? It was like 80, I think.
That seems
79. So for an iron, that's pretty cheap, I would say.
Yeah.
And now with rewards, because it doubles, from like ice, stone, it was like if I have a pretty good team, I should just play in iron with them. So it was like, 2 birds with 1 stone. I can get a license that I really like from a city that I know, and play 1 division higher for more MFL, which makes also economically a lot of sense. But in order to do that, I had to sacrifice my Calva Juniors, one of my first teams.
Oh, wow.
Who won one of the first cups even, and I just sacrificed them. I was like, yeah.
Where was it based? Which city?
Well, Asunción in Paraguay. So it's not like I have a big connection with that.
You've not lived there. You've not lived there.
I did not live there. I did think, maybe one time I'll just go there for the memes and just put some stickers there. But now that I don't have to do that anymore. Now there's other... I still have an Uruguay one. So maybe Uruguay it will be. But yeah, but another good thing, I have like 3 pluses even for buying this, 3 excuses. And the other one is that it's actually in the league below us now, the Iron League below us. So if I stay up and you relegate, it will still be WenDirk because they are there. So there's like 3 advantages of.
Does that not?
License.
Is there not the disadvantage that it's capped to where it can? I guess it will just go into a different division.
Yeah, let's say if I relegate,
it just go into a different league, wouldn't it? Yeah.
So there will be
one of the edge cases. One of the edge cases.
Exactly. There will be for sure a WenDirk if. Really, or maybe I promote with that team in it. So there's more chances of WenDirk.
I might get promoted out of bronze, mate. Don't rule that out as well. I could go up to silver, and we never play, But it will happen. It will happen. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's move on. Dev updates, because a lot has happened. Of course, the rollover day that went well. It was a huge rollover day, of course, because we had those new rarities. You saw your guys changing color. The high commons suddenly became gold or yellow. Well, there was also discussion of the Blue Cat question. What color is it? But they changed colors. It all went well in the end. I think it took a little bit longer with the shop ride, but huge rollover day, and in the end it all went well. Engine, the latest engine version has been released, so you now can test for the new season with that one. And as always, there's loads of patch notes. So if you want to know more about the engine, do read that. About the engine, the monitoring has become much easier for Quentin. He has a new tool to analyze it. So he can generate some reports easier for himself. They update also in real time. And historical data is easier to access. So this should help to get an even better engine for maybe the next season. Team is also working on a feature that has been requested many times, is that you can favorite players, that you can kind of make I'll call it a short list or something. Very nice.
That if you see someone on the marketplace or maybe at another team or that you really like, you can just favorite him. So they are working on this back-end complete. Front-end development will begin this week. And marketplace offers another feature that is highly requested. There is progress, but a little bit slow but steady. And finally, a couple of little tech updates. Teams start, for example, integrating a new tool to more easily manage translations for them. A couple of bugs, etc. If you want to have more info, read the whole dev updates and the patch notes. I think this is not the most interesting part. Like this, yeah. But any takeaway from that? I guess you guys love the thing?
Yeah, the favorite players would be nice, won't it? I know it's been, asked for a lot by many members of the community to favorite players. I'm wondering how it will look. Is it favoriting just across the whole board? Is it favoriting players that you want to, look out for and scout, or is it ones that you favoriting players on the marketplace? Are they two different things? Is that the same thing together? Because I can imagine marketplace favoriting is probably different to regular player favoriting. But
I guess it's kind of you probably do that because you're interested in that guy.
Yeah.
Right? So you just put him on a short list, and maybe in this short list there will be like, okay, he is listed or he's not listed, and this is his price. Yeah. And I reckon it's like just go to player page, click hard, and you favorite him.
Yeah. And there's like your Spotify liked songs, it's little heart, and you go,
and then you have some
bang, and you got a list.
Short list. But I want to do a bit more like the Bayern Dortmund strategy, like you just get the best guys from rivals in your team. If you see they are leading your league with goals or assists, you favorite them, and then when they pop up on the marketplace, you buy them. I think like you said, like sometimes players perform for no reason, so why not buy them, and then hopefully they perform on your team. So, or apparently for no reason. Alexis, any favorite tool? You're also the guy who makes tools. So you probably look at this with tool vision.
I like the fact that they are working on this back office to manage the tournaments. Personally, I was expecting, because if we remember well, we had this rapid plays in October or something like this. And I was expecting that we could launch our own tournament. Quite fastly, actually, and still not existing. You can decide to pay yourself 1,000 MFL, and you create a group of 16 people that would want to pay, 1,000 MFL also. Then MFL would take a percentage of it, and then you can just play a tournament without asking Lucas or whoever to create the tournament. So I'm extremely glad that they do some progress on that part, and I really expect that feature, because I think it would be great for everyone in the end, for MFL, because we would spend MFL, and potentially for us and for the communities inside of MFL, because we could just create tournaments when, we don't have much matches and we're all a bit bored. Like typically right now, it would be great to have such tournament, to have the new teams and to play all together with, between communities. So I'm happy they're working on that. I hope this is the end. I hope it's the target of this development to be able to launch them by ourselves, but yeah, we'll see.
Yes, that would be super great to do. I know that this season the Ramble guys at MFL Ramble got a tournament running at the moment with 64 users. I think Andy with his major club league. I think Alexis, were you participating in that? I think
yes.
Maybe
yes.
500 MFL buy-in. I didn't have enough MFL, so I couldn't partake in it, but being able to launch our own. I mean, Cal and I was speaking before this, we'd probably do a WenDirk one for season 5. We had the ones on the streams back in probably when you were last on the podcast, really. Back in early 2024 we didn't have the trophies and that. Yeah. But yeah, just being able to play games and set up your own tournaments would be great. And yeah, MFL takes like a 15% cut of the MFL that users go to enter, or even, from our point of view, in some situations it could be that let's just say a tournament where it's free, but the winner gets like a football shirt, and that could be something that Calver and I, like a WenDirk Cup, can then do in the winner. There's all different sort of variations, but tournaments you can set up yourself would be super great. I know that would be hotly desired. It is hotly desired by probably all the community.
Yeah. No, and everyone has been talking about preseason tournaments, and I missed the preseason, and you want to do proper testing in a competitive setting, right? What you said. So if you can really do it yourself. Yeah, and for all content creators, let's say Nap, there's like a German guy, also like Jacob or something, I thought. He became very active. If they want to create some content, it's perfect to just, make a little tournament 100%. And you can plan it yourself, and you can put it in their busy schedule and create some quick tournament. Like, I played 100 teams and whatever. Like Mr. Beast games, but then MFL games. That would be great, yeah. So hopefully the team is listening and they prioritize this a little bit. I think it would be huge. Anything else before we move on? Or I think
No, all good.
No, all good. Okay, so let's go to the Diamond update. Well, of course, nothing is happening in Diamond. I think the only little thing we have to mention is that Dio managed to stay in Diamond. He beat Samba, so DFC Amsterdam Lions is there. So to summarize again, we have Amsterdam Lions, MFC Roma, Basel MFC, and Atletico Ciudad de Mexico. They are now in Diamond. And Naples, PFC Manchester, TTP Training Grounds, they are gone, or actually it's now called MFC Guayaquil. So I thought maybe, because nothing is happening, we should do another round of predictions. Yes, let's do a round of predictions. What do you guys think? Jimbo, you have thought about it? It's always been speculating.
Naturally, my mind always wants to go Ronan, right? But he's been quite vocal in the engine feedback channel, where he's not kind of happy with the engine. And last time this happened was in Season 2, and Metaverse didn't perform so well. So if we're going to use that analogy or that story again, you'd assume that he wouldn't perform so well this season. But Meta Mercenaries are still fucking Meta Mercenaries, and they're just an unreal team. So I'm just going to back them to win it. I don't think a French user wins it. We'll go with that. I don't think a French user wins the Diamond League. We've got.
You always make it so about nationalities. It's
So
like French users.
It's because you've got like it's like North America versus Europe, basically, isn't it?
I just see it as individual teams with like clubs, but you always like to make it more about nationalities. And, like how do you call this golf tournament? Like Ryder Cup or something? Like Europe versus North America. But anyway, okay. So you think Meta?
I think Meta.
You think Meta?
Pull out the bag
all right.
and win it.
Yeah. Alexis, any favorites there?
I don't have any. I haven't followed what happened during this mercato for each of them, actually. And I would wait the prediction of the projection of Bastis, actually. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
And I wonder if he won't do it like today. I say today for Monday because the episode will be released on Monday. So maybe he will release one version of the projection today, actually. So then
we have to wait.
Yeah, it will put a bit of pressure on him, so he will have to right now. So
because hopefully by the time we listen to this, league will already, because registration ended today, right? End of today. I can't even know what registration ends.
But I don't think there will be huge changes.
It says 24 minutes to registration ends, but knowing what happened previously, it probably gets extended like 12 hours. That's what usually happens, isn't it? It gets extended by 12 hours or so.
Yeah, and then even after that, she can be added with like,
up
points,
to 5 match days,
deducted,
up 5 match days,
late registration. So the team is lenient with that. But I think also, in Diamond, not so much changed. What I would say maybe is Vissel London, maybe the attitude, right? Akane is selling, he's not buying anymore, and he seems to kind of have given up a little bit, or I don't know. That's like the vibe you get, right? Yes, so maybe
I might have an input about that, but I'm not 100% sure at all. But
we like gossip.
The thing is, yes, I think he got a bit mad of the attitude of Dapper and the fact that he got blocked at certain point. So I don't know. He's maybe he's potentially looking for a slow exit, like total exit. I don't know much. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like it actually, because he's always like sharing the gallery, saying like he's selling about like all the players. So he's not like selecting the players he wants to sell. It's about all the players usually. So is it a slow exit? I don't know, but
I did see in the Ballers Discord that what message was saying that he has like people basically brokering and going around to other managers on behalf of Akane selling his galleries. I think one of the messages, really? Someone messaged Eric and was like, "Do you want to buy his players?" He was like, "I sold most of my players to him. Like, I don't want to buy him back."
Well, if you can buy it back with a discount,
Yeah, he said, "I'll do you a good price," but it seems like it's brokering on behalf of Akane. Maybe that's the pull he has. He can get other people to do the selling for him. And
like
they just
a pawn
yeah, it'd be interesting.
You have to like pawn your guys and get it back, but you can get it cheaper than. But so that's why I think he's maybe not in the mix. I guess meta. I think Scrub. I think it's gonna be Bistione meta. That duel again in Diamond. Maybe Owen Legends always goes up there. I think that's just a clear top 3. I also saw, interesting, so I follow some of my old players from Magos and like kind of checking like, oh, where did they end now? How did it develop? And Tafani, who used to be one of my strikers, he got 10% contract from, so Ron John has a 10% contract for him with Tango.
He's gone to he's gone
10%.
Tango,
That's like for a striker. So I think Big Wilbert is really spending maybe a little bit more ref share. He really thinks this guy, he ended in the top 5. He has a Saavedra. If you have those 2 guys, that equals a lot of goals. So
minimum 34,000 just from the league. That
like I it's okay to spend that. But like good for Ron John also that he has such a great asset there.
And do we know who has the most ultimate players actually? Because we know there are 14 of them, right?
14, yes. In the I think it's Ronin. I think Ronin must be.
You must be able to see it in the leaderboard now, sure, isn't it? Unless leaderboards have agents.
You can check it.
Ultimate, yeah. Oh, does it want to load? It's not been formatted very well. I can't. I just click on it and it says columns.total ultimate, so it's clearly not been formatted properly. But Ronan has 5, Dio has 3, Ikane has 2, B-Sellers has 1. I'm guessing no more will have any more than Ronan then. Unless I scroll down.
I think he has the most. Yes. Okay. So we have to see what happens in Diamonds. Before we move on to the market, I thought we need to include a little extra segment about what did we do with our MFL. Packs and prices was our last episode. So Jimbo, I'm very curious. You had was it 21?
I had 21. I bought 2 uncommon packs. I sent a couple players to the good old faithful dev jail for 4 years, lock them up, send them there. Let's see how they come out. The 2 uncommon packs shamefully sold on Floaty to raise the balance. The Dapper wallet is still sat there. I don't need to bring in any strength or purchase any rare players with them. I am very close to purchasing the promo pack, though. I'm super close. However, obviously, with the deadline rising, it's probably not going to be likely. But every day, I'm constantly checking the marketplace. I have all my filters set out in the marketplace. I'm selecting them, sorting by lowest to highest, trying to find a deal in the marketplace there. I did it for a young centre-back. I say young, so like 23, 24.
A bit of dapper now.
I've got about $65, $70, and I'm just sort of waiting for the right price to come up for a player. I think I underestimated how few rare packs there were in the drop. Oh, yeah, the rare packs of players might come down by like $5 or so. I'll swipe in there. Like the players I wanted just didn't shift at all. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing with mine.
And what was the price in the end for the uncommon or floaty? Because there was an interesting price development. I think it kicked off with like 38. People were ambitious, and it dropped to below 30.
I think I said I wonder if it goes down below 30. I think it went to like 29.99, which is technically still below 30, even though it's only by a cent. I think I did one at the start for like 32, and then one for 35. So I feel like somewhere in the average. I probably could have held for a couple more weeks and got an extra 5, 10. But I was just sort of, I was very tempted to open them though, because we gave away a limited pack on the stream, the one with 2 players in, and I opened one on the stream and got rubbish. And the guy, EDDD 101 Ed, I gave the pack to him, which he won, and he pulled a 77 rated rare from it, which is like 0.9%. So it's like, if only I just opened that one on the stream rather than the one I gave away. So yeah, I sold them for like a decent average price. So
okay,
but this last season was a poor showing from me, 21,000 MFL compared to my previous year of 40, horrendous showing. So this season will be better.
What about Alexis? What did you do with your MFL?
I kept them all, actually. I still have all my MFL from the S3 and the S2. So
And
I have-
S2, oh wow.
Yes.
Saving.
Damn, this guy's disciplined.
So I think I used them on the S1 because the uncommon was really worthy in terms of price. Like it's about what, $12? I don't know,
Yeah.
12 or 12,000 MFL, and the uncommons were quite expensive by that time. So
Yeah,
they were.
I used them, and as I said, I don't need any players right now to fill my teams. I'm just keeping that potentially to have such opportunity coming back. I don't know. But I have the MFLs. I don't know what to do with them. So I don't know. But I have them.
Well,
And
a
I
lot
want to subscribe to many tournaments with them, with that also.
Yeah. Gambling.
Yes.
No, but that's a lot of discipline. There's a lot of discipline. Like a lot of people would get tempted to spend it. But that's great. Okay, so another strategy. So we have the pack strategy. We have the selling. We have the saving. I did in the end. I felt like I'm gonna sell maybe also like 8 or 9 packs and just get 2 rares. But because of that luck I had on the stream of this, it's like 83 rated 20-year-old center back, so it was really good. Actually, after the stream, I even got another rare, and that was this very good striker I showed you, Jimbo, like 82 striker, 23-year-old. So I was like, okay, now I need to get only rare players. So I spent the other. I got 2 more even, but they were, I think, like 78 to 77. Although it was another striker. And Fra Gioco didn't want to buy him. He was Italian, but he said no. But that's how I ended up spending it. Just get 4 rares, and they're all useful for my teams. So they all found a place in my team. So some fresh blood. So we all had a different strategy. That's fun to see. Yeah. Let's move on to the market moves. New users, Locaromo, Wild Nation, MK93, Marvin A, The Razor, Rare, Cella, Fabio 00, Mini Yorps, Gal, Leo Morehouse, Simo, All Around MFL, and Lucas and Theo. So the Hernandez brothers are here. But little side note, this was just from one day of the sales bot. So I got all of those guys from just one day of the sales bot. I was a bit too lazy to check the whole week. But this shows that there's a lot of new users joining. This is just one day. Yeah. Then as new user of the week, I put Ok Kals because he's also new and he bought like 7 clubs in a week, 7 ice clubs. I don't know what he's going to do. Trying to sell those licenses, but funny that his first 4 purchases were for ice club licenses. It's quite a unique strategy. Common, limited players, and uncommon, I saw BSN41. Fraud, shout him out. He's back. He said that like he was missing it, coaching his kids IRL, and I was like, oh, I want to get back also into MFL. So welcome back. Uncommon rare players, Lucas BMG, also quite a new user. He bought a lot of rares from Scrub, Fantasy Gaffer, also Akane. There he is again, and he got a bronze club. So it's great to see new users stepping up. And yeah, I think now in bronze you need all rares. So you got the message. Legendary players, Basel, he's back in Diamond. He got 88 centre back, 24-year-old for 632. Pretty good deal. NLR, I keep saying this name. He keeps buying Legos. Also from Akane. And I think he's pushing for plat with his gold sides. And then clubs, Mark, he bought a bronze club for 102. Pretty good price, I think. But he only has 1 rare, some uncommons. And they're all around 70. So I really wonder what he's going to do, if he's going to get more quality. Otherwise, it's a de facto Iron Club, I would say. But good luck to him. Then, Jimbo, you have a lot to shout out, I think.
Oh, God, yeah. Quite a lot on this week's version of Splash of the Week. So we've got another little duplicate or double top Splash of the Week. However, it's worth pointing out that we had one common player sell for $1,486. That's some sort of behind the scenes back alley purchase going on there. I imagine that's part of a trade deal, so I don't really think we can include that as this week's Splash of the Week. But it was for those who want to know what that common player was, who's a 53 rated 23-year-old centre back. So that's a ridiculous price. So if you've got a 23-year-old centre backs age 53, and you go on Ali's site, his MFL player info, and you see the what his average sales should be or his average cost, that's probably the reason why your centre back might now be worth $1,400 so dollars. But the actual splashes of the week were 2 players selling for $1,400 each. So this was Maurice Canavan and Brent Gallagher. Maurice Canavan.
Well,
93
you can
rated.
pronounce them. That's good.
I can pronounce them. Yeah, they're one's an Irish name, one's the United States. So they're pretty. That's my bread and butter, my cup of tea. So Maurice, 93 rated, 23 years old, left wing, left mid, sold by Basel to Scrub, and then we've got Brent Gallagher, the 91 rated, 21-year-old centre mid cam CDN, nice triple position there. He was sold by Hertha to our good friend you. So got 2 big legendary purchases of $1,400. I think when I roughly looked at the sales, their table doesn't include floaty deals, for example, but
I think it was this. Yeah.
There was like 12 legendary purchases. Another one of like 1,200, a couple of 1,000. So obviously, as expected during the off season, there's no games and everyone's selling their players or whatever, getting packs. We're going to see some more high end players go for a little bit more money. So great to see those players being sold for that amount. So that's this week's splashes of the week.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that you changed his mind. He was a bit angry again that the drop keeps being at 11
Yeah,
PM,
he's Asian.
CET. I think he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's Chinese or South Korean, but East Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drop could
4
be
5
moved.
in the morning.
He was
4 5 in
threatening
the
to
morning for
leave,
him.
but then he showed MFL some love again with just splashing 1,400. So yeah, it's just it was a little threat, but it's good to know. So Lucas, maybe talk to you a little bit. Maybe plan an Asia drop. I said before, huge market: Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, China, big markets.
Vietnam.
I think we can definitely sell some NFTs there. Not financial advice. Then IRL MFL.
And I just
Jimbo,
have,
there's
I just have one number
Alex.
about that. Just
Yes.
just information about the onboarding of users. I know that 10 days ago we were about 1,508, I think. And for the last 10 days, we have 80 more club owners. So we
great.
are close to 1,600 right now, users owning a club. So this is growing quite well for the last days, actually.
Yeah, it's quite a big,
100%. I've not. Yeah,
push.
even in because I know in the previous pod, Matt said that they'd be reminting license locations for inactive users, for current inactive licenses. And if you look on the Airtable, it went down to about, I don't know, sub 50, sub 40, and it spiked up to like 150 now. So they've clearly gone on that process of reminting some licenses that are currently inactive, which is great to see. So people are wondering why they keep minting ICE licenses. It's because of the inactive licenses that are currently, well, they would be ICE, but they're not being used. It's like, not put them to waste, let's remint those locations. So I checked, there's no Ipswich one, unless it's already been packed, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's a London and a Manchester and Liverpool, I think, still in there from England base. There's some quite nice ICE locations there. But not another Norwich, which it wasn't inactive anyway, because we're all active users, us Norwich fans.
Yeah, they're a bit in Schrodinger's, not Schrodinger's cat, but Schrodinger's license. They're both like active and inactive, and they're both like ICE and something below the Spark. Does it Spark League?
Spark.
Yeah. So technically, when there will be a Spark, they will automatically become Spark. But right now, they're still kind of ICE, so it's really like in the middle somewhere. But thanks, Alex, for the data. And it's really, I think there's quite a big push, especially with like Nap and Jacob and like those kind of bigger names on YouTube. I think that brings in quite some new people. Yeah, great to also say that. So then, Jimbo, the IRL MFL, how are things?
FBL's is a bit of a blank. There's a couple of blank teams this week because of the Carabao Cup final between Liverpool and Newcastle. So obviously those teams playing those won't play this weekend. Arsenal beat Chelsea 1-0. Man City keep bottling it. They drew 2-2 at home to Brighton. Ipswich lost 4-2. Get in there. Terrific result. Forest just keep dominating, which I think it probably seals the coffin for Ipswich. Really, they're quite a few points below Wolves, but they do play Wolves. But obviously, the biggest thing is not even FPL; it's just to do with the Carabao Cup final. So, a massive congrats to Newcastle fans out there who they beat Liverpool 2-1 today, which is a terrific result. I think I could be slightly off with my dates here, but the last time they won a domestic trophy was 1950s, and I think maybe like a European one was 1960s. So waiting near enough for, let's call it a generation, a bit less than that for a trophy is huge, especially against Liverpool's side, which I know they got knocked out of the Champions League midweek, but you'd always expect Liverpool to probably win that game, especially with a couple of key players for Newcastle being missing. So yeah, huge result for Newcastle, and I know they'll be partying hard and long in the city of London this evening, whilst those Liverpool fans commiserate. But you still got basically the Premier League, so at least you got one trophy.
Should be. Maybe they get demoralized.
If they do, that would be a generational bottle if they do. They've done it once before in the last 10 years.
I think their slot has to resign. It's so painful. You're on track to win everything and you lose everything. But
do you know slightly more about the starting 11 of Liverpool? Because I didn't understand why actually he kept the starting 11 for the 3 last matches, the 2 legs of the Champions League, and also on the the first league, also the previous weekend. I think it was exactly the same starting 11, and you could feel that on the second leg of the Champions League. They were clearly tired after, I don't know, let's say the 80th minute, for example. So
yes. I think I saw that Kelleher was in goal, which I don't know, that's probably just because he played in goal in all the cup games, but it's one of those where I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans sort of complain on social media. It's easy to complain when the results already happened. They're like, why would you play out of form Luis Diaz versus, I know Gakpo's a decent player. I think he's scored the most goals in this tournament, or in the tournaments that happened this season. But I think from listening to the second half on the radio, it was one of those games where Newcastle, what it seemed like from the get-go, were the only team going to win it. They were just winning every second ball. They wanted it. In those cup finals, you want your players walking off that pitch, not even being able to walk off the pitch. You want them to basically, final whistle goes, and they just collapse to the floor because they've given it everything. And by the sounds of things, from listening to it and watching a bit of it, that was all Newcastle all about. So fair play to them. Fair play.
There's a great connection with my story, IRL MFL, because about rotating. Farioli, the Ajax coach, he fully rotated his team for the Europa League match against Frankfurt. They were only, they lost 2-1 at home, only 1 goal. They could have easily, I think, done well or even progressed in Europe, but he just did the full rotation, 10 new guys, and now against AZ this weekend, back those other 10 guys. They did full MFL, cup. Kind of your strategy before, Jimmo, right?
Yeah,
just full swaps. He did it. But now it didn't work. It's 2-2. So probably people will now give Farioli shit for not giving more guys more routine or more, what Slot probably says is there's patterns and systems, and you need to kind of have the same guy to work with that. So yeah, there's something to say for all of it. And also in MFL, of course, do you do a full swap or not? Or do you do constant rotation like me? But yeah. There's always something, right, to blame if it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Alex, any moment? You're Sunday Chen, right?
I have 2 moments. Yeah, I have the whole Saturday actually, because
the whole Saturday.
Yeah, because the French Ligue 1 was extremely boring. We had 3 matches, and the 3 matches were extremely boring with very few goals. And we had some matches in the second French league, and my team, where I come from, a small town, won 3-0 against PFC. So you might know PFC right now because it's
Paris.
It's related to Klopp and to the Red Bull group right now.
Yes.
And they won 3-0 to them, and they are close to be 5th, which is the position to be in the playoff, to be promoted to the first league. So it was a great weekend for that. Yeah.
Nice. Huge. So, some good success there.
one final thing. I just can't believe that Thomas Tuchel has picked Jordan Henderson for the England call up for the coming at internationals. It just seems out of this world. It feels like we've gone back 10 years to Roy Hodgson's time, and when we lost to Iceland in the Euros. Like, how is Jordan Henderson still getting picked above some of the other players?
You know what's even worse? Memphis Depay got a call up for the Netherlands. I'm absolutely like. What he must have, I think he has like I don't know, some secret of Koeman, and he has to keep
blackmail. He's got
he's
some
like
sort of blackmail on the manager.
And then he says Brazil
is going to release it.
Brazil is in a good league, so Depay can come back, but Bergwijn plays in Saudi Arabia, and that's a shit league. Well, Saudi Arabia now has all the superstars, and they're very good. I think they're maybe better than Brazil, but it's just bullshit. I think, if you say Brazil is okay, is a good enough league, and Depay is good, and you still call him up, well, yeah.
But is he actually performing there, or not even?
Yeah, but it's Brazil. He's giving some assists. He's giving some assists, and he scored a free kick, and so what? Okay,
yeah.
He was absolutely terrible. Plus, he has no future for the national team for the coming tournament. So give new talent, a chance. Invest in the future. Not and then he does his stupid celebration with his fingers in his ears and so much attitude.
Because this is all the World Cup qualification, isn't it?
Yeah.
England have got Albania and Latvia. Just give some of the youngsters
exactly.
a go.
Think
why is
about
Jordan Henderson playing against Albania and Latvia? No disrespect to those nations, because we should be beating those. But you at least give the younger players a go who want to experience first team football. So then if you do embed them in, then by the time it gets to the World Cup next year, they've got that experience. They're not shitting themselves in front of 80,000 fans in America or North America. But, hey-ho, I'm not Thomas Tuchel. But if it goes bad for Thomas Tuchel, he's going to get a little stick in his first couple of games.
Yeah, but that's really just ask yourself, is Jordan Henderson probably going to be part of that squad in 1.5 years?
No, so what is the point in doing it?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Well, maybe we should be maybe one of us should be England manager, just not me. I'm not in a position to talk about being England. I'm not in a position to talk about being England manager.
I was about to say you do have some experience.
Yeah. Why is Jimbo slagging Tuchel off when he lost 7-2 to Serbia? What? We actually do play Serbia in the qualification as well. So
we'll be fine at 7-2. Great. Okay.
If he scores less than 2, he's worse than me.
Alexis, the moment you've been waiting for. Your beer choice.
The beer choice.
The beer choice. You have a beer.
Yes. Can you remind me what's the beers that are actually in
Okay. There we go. So number 3 is Erdinger by Palmer. Then the second place is Supplication by Russian River, 408 sauce beer. This is the last one added. And then Goose Island IPA from Orange Fly is on the first spot.
All right. So I'm sorry for that, but I think I will replace this 408 sauce beer because this is the only one I don't know, actually. I know the 2 others.
Okay.
And I would replace it by a beer that is kind of local but popular from Belgium. That is brewed very close to where I live, actually. And it's called Orval, Orval. And this is definitely my favorite. And yeah, I love that one. And I suggest everyone to try it and not drink too much also because this is alcohol. So, but try it. This is, I think that
not alcoholic advice.
Yes. Yes, this is Orval for me.
So it's Orval.
Yes, that's it.
Orval.
Yeah.
Is it made by Belgian monks? Does it have DO seal of approval? Because that's that's the one criteria. It's not made by Belgian monks. It's apparently not a real beer. It is.
It is still the case. It is still the case, and I know that sometimes it's quite hard to have them because of course they don't do a lot of quantity. And I don't know. Sometimes you go to the shop and they could be €1.50 the bottle, and then the next day it could be €4, and the next day you won't have any of them. So it's quite complicated sometimes to have. But if you go to some bars, of course, in Belgium or in Luxembourg even, you can find them. And if you're lucky, you can find them in the shop also nearby.
Okay.
Great choice. I see. I just checked, Jimbo. You can order them for £3.80 per bottle. So that's all.
Okay. I feel like when we finish this season, which is usually every 50 episodes, we'll have to do a stream and we'll have to try try each of the top
The
three. We'll have to rate
tasting.
them.
Vogon actually, I don't know if he shared it in general, but he shared with us that he ordered a selection of WenDirk
Yeah,
beers.
he got the neck oil, which I don't think he's tried yet. But he's got a few.
Beers, so
that reminds me that he works in Luxembourg and I haven't met him yet. So I have to go to again call him and we have to drink a beer together and take a picture.
Apparently, he has a fridge full of WenDirk beers, so you should meet him.
You can see in the background of the photos, it looks like he's got a lot of beers there. So, I'm saying, watch party at Vogon's house. I think watch party at Vogon's house.
Definitely. All right, main segment time. So you've heard a lot already from Alexis, and now we're going to focus a little bit more on his amazing tool, MFL Assistant. Before we do that, I want to because it's been such a long time, you just already mentioned a bit about your team in bronze and everything. But how would you describe, what did you do in the past year and was it 3 months, 4 months? Any strategy changes? What about your agency, your clubs? How are you playing the game? Can you tell us something about that?
Yes. So for a long time, I was just running 3 stone teams, which was the 3 starter Pokemons. And then I started to have this issue that many managers have, which is buying more and more clubs.
Actually. I recognize that.
Yeah.
Must be a common illness.
So I think it started on S1, I started to buy some more clubs and try to build also a logic between them. So I have 1 bronze right now, 1 iron, 2 stones and 3 ice. Yes, that's it. And the thing is, I try to be logical by the fact of having players in each division and trying to get some of the players getting up from time to time and build that logic and trying to not spend too many monies buying big players for the bronze to try to get promoted for the silver. And I try to just to go slow pace, and I don't want to it could be too easy, but it would be possible just to buy a gold club. You sell few of the clubs, you buy a gold club, you just play with it. But the thing is, you kind of don't maybe deserve it. You don't I don't know, you don't have the experience to maybe manage a gold team yet. So maybe it's better to go, step by step. And this is how, I try to manage it. So, I like to buy usually players being 23, 24, 25 years old, because I feel this is the ones that in the short term progress the most. So I try to have this kind of player to, within now 2 or 3 seasons to try to reach the silver, finally. But and I have some disappointment, of course, and because I got relegated in S2 from bronze to iron, now I'm back to bronze, so I'm quite happy with that. But the thing is, also with all the clubs, I was at some point looking to get promoted everywhere, and then I reckon that. But the issue is that if I get promoted everywhere, I won't have the pool of players to handle each league. Now it's quite different, because with the new reward system, the way of thinking it's kind of different, because you can accept to be the last in the league, and it won't be a problem MFL wise. So it's a bit different. But at some point, I had also this thing of I want to get promoted everywhere. I want to perform everywhere. But it was not the target, because it was a whole logic of moving all together, I would say, between all the clubs and create this synergy between them by stone remain stone, and just create some players that would be worth it to play in iron or bronze.
Yeah. Do you also use them as kind of a development team, and then sometimes if they progress fast, right, they can probably move up?
This is it.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter the result, right?
Yeah, exactly. I have some exceptions right now, because I bought Barcelona in ice, and I do believe that the delta of the value of a club is higher when it got higher. I mean, in division, I would say. So in Barcelona, I bought it 125, and of course, the delta of the value will grow by getting higher in the division. So I have a different target for this one. The purpose is to go straight to get promoted and to go, I don't know, maybe not to bronze, but at least iron, and then I will see what I will do with And I have another club that is Douala, Cameroon. I bought it in bronze for $95, and the only purpose of this one is just to fill it in with 68 overall players. And I know I will get relegated, but I will just get this season the MFL rewards out of that, and then next season I will see what I will do with this one. But yeah, I also have different strategies with different clubs that doesn't, is not included in this ecosystem, in this synergy.
So a bit of farming, one team.
Yes, in this case,
a bit like a trust the process, a TTP, a little TTP strategy. But then still with kind of a respectable team. Like, it's you're meeting the minimum overall there. But it's great. But I think that's good to be flexible also, to have a kick. I have the same with now this Eindhoven license stone. Yeah, I like that to be eventually maybe become my best team because it's from my hometown. So that one I can stack more than maybe another team that's all right to stay in iron or stone. I think more people, like Barcelona, then it's more valuable. So maybe that license you want to promote and not the other one. So I can.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine.
Yeah. So the goals you already mentioned, just main goal is silver with the team.
That's the next one. Yeah. Maybe on S6 or 7, something like this, and then we'll see. I don't feel like I can handle having a team being in gold or platinum, for example, because we. The price of each player is quite high, so you have an impact on, I don't know, your whole gallery, and I don't want a gallery that is like massive also. I want to limit it, and so I don't feel that, I don't know, I could be one day in gold or in silver, or if, I don't know, you create a good networking maybe, and you could get a lot of loan, a lot of contracts to fill the team, but I don't feel like by myself having all the players and having the level of playing in gold or platinum would be a target one day. So for now it's silver, but we never know. I wouldn't expect to have 8 clubs today. So it's exactly the same rule, I think, that could.
So if we do another episode with you in 1 year, maybe another 5 clubs, maybe in gold, never know.
Double it, 16 clubs.
16 clubs.
16 clubs.
You get the make think buck. Something like you never know. All right, great. So this is a bit about your agency. So let's now talk about Assistant. So for those of you who don't know, I think that's some people. Can you explain what is MFL Assistant? Why did you make it? A little bit of history. How did you work on it the past years? Last time since we talked about it.
Yes. So the very start of it is like, I wanted to work on a new technology I didn't know. And then I didn't know where to apply it, actually. And it was exactly the same moment I discovered MFL. So it was November 2023. And I started to build this app without really knowing what I could do with. And I knew also that Sorare data was existing. So it was kind of the image I had of it. It's like, if I can create such an app, it would be to help everyone, to help any users. And then I have been developing different features. Most of them has been requested by the users, actually, even if we were only a few of us at the beginning. But how to describe it? It would be a general tool, I would say, to help the director, MFL director. So there are different tools to support, for example, the estimation of the price of a player. And I saw, Calva, that you did a nice video about that on YouTube recently. But there are other features that could be, for example, what could it be? The dashboard. I like the dashboard, for example, because it gives like a broad view about what's the state of MFL. For example, if you go on the dashboard page, you have a tab that is called Players. I really like this one because you can filter out by overall, by ages, and many other attributes. And the thing is, you can just recon how many, CBs exist between 76 and 78 overall. And then you can estimate, and you have also the mean and the average of each attribute. So you can have your own player and assess approximately what's his profile compared to the similar players with the similar overall. So there is this example of features. There is also other indicators saying like how many clubs are established, etc., etc. So I cannot give one description in 2 sentences. There are many different tools. So I think the users are actually using it differently. Sometimes someone will just go for the player pricing page. Sometimes the people will go on the Mercato only just to build the teams, or before the Mercato to start building the teams with the team builder. So yeah, many usage, many things. And in terms of features, I think I'm quite done with this app. It's just about like improvement, and we'll see what will be next in the future. But I'll start designing actually a new app that will be more dedicated to
a new app.
a new app.
Well, maybe before we go there, let's break down what you just said about all the features. This sounds exciting, and we'll build some suspense here. But maybe as a Jimbo, like, do you use MFL Assistant and for what? Maybe the reports,
I do indeed.
guess,
I think that if you're an MFL player, if you're an active MFL player, I think if you're not using MFL Assistant, I think you're daft. Like the tools on offer that you've created, Alexis, the two of the, for a starter, if you love progression and you want an easy way to find out who's progressed each day, well, guess what? You can put in your email and you can get a daily report about progression of your players, rather than having to sit at your squad and go, has he progressed? And do all the columns. Just get it in one email at a time you like every day. Bam. How many people have asked in the Discord, I'd love to be able to tell when a player of particular criteria gets listed on the marketplace. Would you look at that? There's a feature on that as well. You can put the criteria for the player, his age, even his nationality, his attributes. And when that gets listed on the marketplace, bing, email comes to you. And I know many a manager who has sniped up some deals using that feature. And also another feature that I've used is the squad builder feature on there as well, where you can basically, I guess it's almost, you could just pick any of the players with MFL, place them into your squad, and see what that team looks like. Building a squad before you've purchased the players, or squad building, but you have free roam of all the players in MFL. So there's some of the features that I mentioned that are on there that I actively use, and like I said, I think if you're not using it, then you're daft. And it will certainly make you a better MFL player, more knowledgeable. And just, more savvy. You're ahead of the curve. You're already one step ahead of the competition if you use an MFL Assistant, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And just on cue, registration's been extended. Told you. Just on cue.
there we go already.
There we go.
Of course. Maybe you should also look up, I'll say a couple of things, but maybe look up what's the number now. What's the number?
What's the number of so the extension, just to quickly, is until 9 a.m. So that's 10 a.m. for you, Alexis. That's 13 hours from now. And the current competition season 4 registrations is sitting at 2,555.
Oh, great.
Which is
We're
big.
really approaching 3,000. That will be another magic number limit. I think you never crossed that, right?
What, 3,000?
3,000, yeah.
Don't think we have. I don't think there's even 3,000
Okay, that's
clubs out there.
Yeah,
I mean, there might be now with the remints of.
Yeah, definitely. But okay, let's go back to MFL Assistant. So I think you mentioned,
I agree.
all of the valuable tools that you can use, and I also like it as more like an info hub, because often people ask, about content or about other tools or other things, and you also have that nice little overview with content, channels, listings, right? So it's just what it says, like a little dashboard to assist you, a lot of data to back up choices. I mean, if you don't have a feel for the market, what I made of this video valuation, I think Jimbo, like you and I, we have kind of a feel like this is a right price. This feels like a right price. Some people coming in have no clue, and they sometimes list a guy for way too low or way too high, and they get frustrated why it doesn't sell. So to have, data backing up your choice, I think that's one of the main things. Just have all of that data in one spot to really help you. So Great. So you just mentioned, like one of our questions was like, what would you add as a feature? But you said maybe I need a whole other app.
Add a new app.
Yes.
So what is it gonna be, or can it be both? Or tell us more.
Then just to close the subject about the assistant, I will just come back to it. And yeah, I have, I would say, minor features to add. And of course, I always ask for ideas of improvement regarding what is actually existing currently. So yeah, people don't hesitate to come to me. And if you have any suggestion about like to ease your life about when you play MFL, don't hesitate to come to me. And usually I collect these ideas, most of them or major of them or all of them are all good ideas. And I have quite a long list of things I have to do. This is minor things I have to do, but I still have to do. But yeah, come to me. And if you have any ideas about how to help you, actually, I would definitely do and apply the change. And yes, the new app. So as I said, to sum up, the assistant is kind of to help a director. So yeah, about different aspect of agency management. And the new app would be named MFL Coach. And this app would be directly driven more to the engine and the matches. And the idea is to have and to aggregate data to have a view about like what tactic to apply. So it can be done. I have thought about different pages, about different features so far, but I don't know what I will do in the end. But like the clear example of something that we all want, I think, as a coach, is to have what formation is beating what formation with the current engine. So this is one of the example of the page that I would serve on this new app. So everything is about a coach decision, tactic decision, and how to potentially analyze my team. And yeah, that would be the new app. And the thing is, like, I just have few ideas about them. I will start to develop them. I think I could release the first version in maybe 1 or 2 months quite fastly, I think. And then it would be all about the ideas of the community. So, and if you have ideas right now that could come up, I will accept them also. But I don't know, what would you think about this kind of tool?
Really, well, I guess my first impression would be really useful. Indeed, it's like the other aspect, the managing agency aspect and the tactics. And I think this is where people are the most lost. Definitely where I am most lost. And we already said we barely do good testing or have time for testing. So to then have, I don't know how you're going to do it, but if you have data based on all the matches you played, and there's like, okay, based on the data, if you play against this formation, you lose more often, then your win percentage is lower there. Or if there's some kind of report or overview based on all the data of your matches, that would be really cool. So I tried sometimes with the Magos videos, I tried to do it myself, and I was like, okay, I was generating so many XG before, and now I'm with this tactic generating so much XG. So apparently that one tactic works more, or I'm getting more shots on target. So if you have data without having to do it yourself in some Excel sheets and calculating stuff, that would be amazing. So I don't know if that's possible, but it sounds amazing.
I think that's the plan. Yeah, that's
okay,
the plan.
Nice.
And it would definitely be also an extension of the match observatory that is already on MFL Assistant. I don't know if you have used it, but yeah, now I'm using it quite a lot because I'm doing 5 friendlies. I can generate a report of the stats aggregated for these 5 matches. Then I will change my tactic and I will do another 5 friendlies, and then I will compare the result. And this is how I define also how what tactic I will use for the season on my teams. And yeah, this will be an extension of that module, and with different tools to make decision also, because I don't do that, but many players are anticipating having a team with 3-4 applicable formations. Do you do that, by the way? Because I know some people are doing it. I'm not. I'm always playing the same one for the whole season.
Me too. Yeah. but that's also because I have my lean squats, and then it doesn't give you a lot of flexibility to change formations.
Yeah.
So I stick with one, and I only play with team instructions and player instructions. But I know Jimbo, Jimbo, we didn't hear you about this tool yet. And
I think it would be a great app. Any application that managers can use that they think that they can use to get an edge on the engine is always going to be welcomed. And you're right, Alexis. The first thing you said is how many people ask the question like, what formation? And it's not as easy as rock paper scissors. We all know that, but it could be along the lines of, when I'm playing a 4-4-2 in bronze, how many times across the whole, just say like the whole bronze division, does 4-4-2 perform against 4-3-3 attacking? It could be something like that. And it just gives you a little bit of an idea. Well, actually, I might be better tweaking my formation against this. Yes, there's so many variables, players and their stats, etc. But from a baseline formation, you've at least got that right. And how many times do we either say we're doing testing or not saying we're doing testing, and we don't do testing? We say, I wish we'd done some testing. But sometimes it feels like testing can be with no direction. You're just changing things and hoping that you're going to get better results. But if there's an application, that MFL coach, which can, coach you to be better at analyzing and looking at your performances and your friendlies to try and steer you in the right direction and give you that edge. I think that's great. And on about your match observatory, that's something I think quite recent that you've added to it, right?
Yeah,
I remember was it last week, week before, you added an update to it. I used it a little bit when it first came out, but what I will do, and for season 4, I forgot what season it was then, my second club, which I've not touched the tactics for a long time, this week, I will run a bunch of friendlies, Alexis, and I'll use your match observatory, and I'll tell you when I make tweaks. And basically, if my season goes wrong, no, I won't blame it on you, of course not. But for your new MFL coach, I think you need to have at the top somewhere a slogan, like not tactical advice, some little cheesy slogan, just in case people go, oh, I used your application and now I lost, I got relegated. Well,
Yeah, and I think the goal is not to do like a full reverse engineering of the engine also, because it would be like way too complex, and then it would change also each season. So not that purpose. But if we could, I don't know, if we could simply just go on a web page and make a decision that would, increase the probability of win by 1, 2, 3% just by checking on the web page and then changing your tactics, that would be kind of the purpose of it. Of course, it could go in both directions because you can do still bad decisions, but that's the idea also. And to put all the players, all the users on the same line by having a simple tool. And if there are some people having some more skills in IT also, that they could do that by themselves on their side already. So the idea is also like to avoid that and to put everyone on the same line by suggesting this time of application, this time of So yes, I will start working on it, and I cannot wait to have actually the result, or the first result of that, because which formation is beating which formation is a kind of answer I wait for. I want to know right now what is the truth. So
well, if suddenly, Alexis, you start winning every single game with all your clubs since season 5, we know that you've probably cracked it, and we're all going to go, release it.
No, I won't do that. I haven't done that since the beginning. I developed the assistant, so no, I won't start doing that. No.
But if you already, without even like this formation works against this formation, what I just said, like even if you get some data about are you overperforming or underperforming XG, I would love to have that somehow you scrape the data of all the XG, all the goals I scored, and you do this is goals minus XG or the other way around, and you get some number. And also for the defense, like did you concede more goals than expected, then apparently you do something really wrong. Just some simple pointers that you could, if you could provide it super quickly to me, instead of me spending 15 minutes in an Excel sheet, that's already perfect. That fact alone is already amazing. So, and then if you add all of those other data points about formations, and yes. We'd love to have that.
And waiting for Yax also to bring some other stats that would be really relevant to integrate also. And yes, because there are some stats like the possession, for example, it's not collectible programmatically so far. You have to go on the web page to know. So, and there are some other data that are hidden that you cannot consider at all. So, yes, expecting to have also more that data, and the idea is not to have it all also, because for example, knowing the exact tactics of someone is not interesting as a user.
No, I would also love to have just who's performing relatively well.
Yeah.
That is like not just with the teams, but also the players. As in each league, on Football Manager, I was always checking the player ratings of like the whole league. Like which, and you see some relegation side guy doing super well. I'm like, oh, okay. 1, I want to buy that guy, but also 2, it's what makes him stand out from the crowd. Like, why is he like, let's say, some player from I don't know, what is a bad team in France right now?
As you have this on the from the player point of view.
Yeah, no, but like just that you have which guys are overperforming, underperforming, also player ratings. Now you just have a goal. You see in the goals and assists and the goalie rating.
Say Saint Etienne, because that's Lucas's team that he supports.
Are they in Ligue 1
even?
No?
They're second bottom. Yeah.
The second bottom. Okay, let's say Saint Etienne. Yeah. So which player of Saint Etienne is really doing super well? Player rating wise, of course, in Liga you don't have player, but in MFL we have player rating, so we can know who that is. So if you have somehow way more data, whether it's in MFL with a bigger dashboard, competition dashboard with ratings, or in your new coaching app. By the way, will be a new website then also, or you have like to.
Sorry again.
Like you make a new website like MFLcoach.com.
It will be a new website. Yeah,
new website.
Yeah, because I don't want the assistant to be more complicated than it is with all the pages it already has. So it will be a definite separation between two different apps. And
MFL Assistant Coach. There you go.
Maybe then you can also
together MFL Assistant Coach.
You can also do MFL PR, that I can generate automatic tweets for all my teams.
Yes, I can.
A new website, MFLPRassistant.com.
I've just had a look on SofaScore. The best rated player for St. Etienne this season is their goalkeeper with a 7.16 rating.
That's never good. So when your goalie is your best player.
That kind of makes sense.
Yes, I think so. But great, I'm really excited for that. Really curious how it goes, and I think people will get very excited when they hear this. Huge demand for, I think, especially formation. As you said, Jimbo, people coming in. What works? What doesn't work? We have now a new tactics. You see it on general Discord, like a new tactics tab.
Really?
Where people, you didn't see it? Like
in the general Discord. Yeah, there's like a tactics
below general. You have like a...
People wanted a channel to discuss tactics.
All right.
Tactics
people
channel.
it'd be cool, but I'm not going to tell you my tactics if they're performing well. I'm going to gatekeep those tactics. I'm going to gatekeep those tactics. What was I going to... I forgot what I was going to say then. I can't remember it now. There is that website. I'm not sure if it's still functioning. Is it MFL Scout?
Yes.
And if you could type in your club ID number and it would run like... You could set to like run... Look at your last 50 games and it would tell you what formation you had and what formation you played and how many times you then, or what formation you used, and how many times you won, drew and lost with that formation. But it doesn't tell you, but it was only for formations that you used as a club rather than the formations that you played against, which obviously that's like the extra step that you're sort of, one of the extra steps that you're going is not just how well your formations perform, how do your formations perform against other formations, but globally is MFL pyramid or divisions, how do formations perform against each other? Because a division in the top two, a formation in the top two divisions probably performs completely differently in the bottom two divisions because of how different the players are, right?
Yeah, and I still don't know what direction I will take for this MFL coach. Will it be something where you get your team as a point of view, or is it like more like an observatory where I will just aggregate the whole data of the whole matches that you can find on the on MFL? So I don't know what would be the position of the website yet, but I need to go back to this website and check what he has done to not repeat it also, and also if I could create something that is similar to or aggregate and show data that is similar to the report that has been published recently at the end of the S3 about I don't even remember, about the yellow cards, the red cards by match, etc., etc. It would be also a tool that could be useful to how to say to counter the upset somehow, because I think this report was a great tool to say, hey, in the end I got mad here and there because I had the result that I was not deserving or something like this. So I think the engine is not a good engine at all. It's like I wanted to say some words, but
you're more than welcome to
it. I think the engine is crude and it doesn't, it's not a good image of the real football. But in the end, with this report that we had, it shows that it's well made, it's well designed in the end, and all the stats that we can collect, we have if we gather all together all the matches, is very decent related to what we can see in the real world actually. So it would be also the purpose of it.
So maybe now on MFL coach it says, was this an upset or not? You can
yes.
Okay, it was. Don't worry, it was an upset. Yeah, you were. Yeah, exactly. You were. It was not the engine is programmed against you. Some people. That's the most amazing thing when people think they literally think that just for them. Yes. They change the engine to mess with them or something. It's like what kind of conspiracy theories are you thinking about?
You need to be able to click on your match, and then a bit like when you do like a survey or when you go to like the supermarket and you use the checkouts and you have to, how was your experience? Happy face, average face or sad face, and be like, right, what's the consensus? What's the mood around the engine? Has everyone been saying, yes, it's a great engine this season? Or has everyone been saying, no, it's not so good engine this season? Maybe to get an idea of the sentiment.
Like an upsetometer. And it goes like...
The upsetometer,
The upsetometer. That's...
Yeah, like the doomsday clock. Well, kind of different, a bit different. Or the greed, But yeah, I do like that.
I do feel that this is necessary because if you look at the report, and you can read that and share that with the people always like complaining like almost every day because they have 3-4 teams. They have a team that will lose against someone that is like, 20 overall less for the whole team. And they will get mad. But then you have this report. And I think it's very useful because you have many people that are just ending the season and saying, okay, I just sell my club because the engine is not performing well. The engine is not normal, is not logical. So I think, yes, if you want to retain actually the users and to prove that your engine is decent in the end, I think they have no choice to do that because they would have lost users. And in the end, if you keep only the winners, you will end by having no one in the game. So that's interesting thing that some people can get upset. Even if they love the game, they would leave the game. That's impressive to go that far just because of upsets, actually.
Yeah. If there's some way to tell them, I don't know, it's really much of a consolation, but at least it was you were supposed to win.
Upsetometer.
I think this is our hashtag. Upsetometer.
Upsetometer.
We can already say that's it. But all right. Actually, I think this whole conversation it also comes down a little bit to the question from 408 Sus, which was our last guest, who said that if you would be part of the MFL dev team and could change, but this is the little twist, so not like any feature, but kind of could change the course of the game, what would you change, both short term, long term? So
do we
let's say Alexis, do we talk? What's your question? Do we talk
about the past or the future?
No, the future.
If
you now suddenly woke up and you were mad, actually, and then you can change something or change the course, make it a bit.
If we talk
go in maybe another direction, or would you take the same direction? short-term, long-term priorities? Like,
Yeah,
speculate a little bit.
if we talk about short terms, I think there is one thing that everyone will agree with is the club delegation potentially to have it. Yes, if we can have that S5, that would be great, and solve many problems of Calva and me potentially, because we might have
the illness.
Yeah, and it's the
that's
best.
the medication for your illness. To buy more clubs, that's the medication.
No, it's amazing because one, we can focus on our best clubs. Two, some friends that you know that are like, I'm not gonna pay for any NFT. You say, okay, play for free. There you go, test it out.
Yeah.
So it only benefits, you know.
Yeah.
And then free, you still get paid for it. MFL, you still get to keep part of it.
It's a win-win.
It's a bit like I don't think Karl Marx would agree. It's like we have the capital and then we let them work for nothing. But he would write another manifesto.
We've said this before.
Yeah, but I think
the means of production.
it requires some limits, I think, maybe, because if we already have some users having 42, 46, 48 clubs, and do they play with all of them actually? I think so.
They have a whole system. I think Fink has like A and B teams, and he just has to swap the whole time.
Right.
Do some swaps sometimes every now and then. But all right, so you say short term, a bit more club delegation, and more things short term, long term.
Yes, plus the tournament system. I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, the Rapids.
Yes, the Rapids. And for the long term, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea right now, because you can dream big. I would say you can dream about having bigger team in the MFL company. But I like the way how it is right now, because they are 5, 6. It's quite small and they deliver super fast. And you had Mathurin on the pod, and he was mentioning that yes, if you get more people, if you have 2 devs instead of 1, you don't go twice faster. It doesn't exist. So I like the fact that they are still a small team and they can deliver and listen to the community also. So I don't know what to expect for the next 1-2 years. But if we want to dream big, for example, it would be amazing that they start working on a 3D engine, for example. That we could dream about that, in by the time of like 3-4 years, because it would take time to implement it. But if there would be something to do, maybe it would be interesting that by the end of, I don't know, 2020, 2025, beginning of 2026, that they start to work on that. Of course, you need time, you need people, you need money, of course. But that would be maybe one of the long-term goal, because I don't know. Would we stay if the game lasts 10 years, 15 years? Would we stay only in 2Ds? I'm not that sure. How would you see the game?
Well, but it is also about technology, like how fast it goes with, I don't know, AI and quantum and all of that stuff. Sure. But like, if it's truly metaverse and you truly have like a crazy imagination, like. You put on some, VR, AR goggles, and you're really in your stadium seeing your guys play a match, and you're really sitting on the bench. Like, if you want to dream big, that could be it, maybe, like that you really put on the glasses and you're literally in your meta stadium seeing all your dudes with those amazing AI looks, what we said. Right.
Yeah.
And then that could be, if you're really dreaming back, that could be something. But of course, 3D would also be great. Although when I play Football Manager, I still click 2D just because I like 2D. But it needs to be done well.
So you can do that still. You can still do 2 and the 3.
Yeah. You can still classic 2D.
All right.
I'm just all for the nostalgia there.
All right.
So that's also MFL does it. But 3D, of course, proper 3D, really good 3D. That's amazing to watch. Jimbo, any reaction?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see 3D, but I think in some parts the engine needs to be a bit more polished first. I'm not saying we're going to get. Right? I know 3D is like way long term, right? But imagine watching 3D now, and a goalkeeper comes out to punch it and just like misses it. You'd be like, "Fuck this!" But no, I definitely, 3D for the future would be phenomenal. I think it just adds that extra layer. To the game, the flavour, we like to call it on the pod here, the extra flavour. So I think Alexis, if you were in charge, if you were Matt for the day, and so you're thinking about in the future, 2-3 years ahead, you'd start now dedicating a little bit of resource to what could that look like?
Yeah, if we could start in 2025, it will be maybe looking at the technologies and the services that could potentially implement it, or like a tool.
The art of the possible.
Yes, exactly. Just to do like, to see what is existing and to anticipate maybe the 5 next years. I don't know, but of course, as they are, I don't think they can afford to have like 1 or 2 people full time by the end of the year on that topic. Of course, definitely, but a
new secret project, maybe not.
It's just super long term, but I like more dream of a big vision. And
of course, it's 2030.
2030. But we're back to. Okay, I want to say too many communism references now. We just had Marx, and this is like 5-year plans we're now implementing. But
it's like football projects actually for the clubs. No, usually it's based on 5 years. So
no, definitely you want to have this 5-10 year plan ahead. That's good. Also, a football club should plan like that with talents and everything. So I like that. So we have short term club delegation, long term 3D or other visualizations. And for our next guest, do you have a question? Did you think of something?
Yes, my question is because I just reckoned recently that I'm doing my tactics and my strategy and building my teams in the bed to fall asleep, actually. And I was wondering if I was the only one doing that. So the question is like, do you also anticipate and do you think about your tactics and your starting 11s, your team buildings out of the phone and the computer? So whenever you're, I don't know, showering, wanting to sleep or whatever, but do you think about MFL all the time?
Okay, so there's no screen, there's no phone, but you still think about tactics and players and moves, and I certainly do that. And Jimbo, if you do that. So do you think about MFL, let's say under the shower and before you fall asleep?
Yeah, that's
go for it. Have my result ends up being a loss. Go for a little hour walk round the village or whatever, loud music on, thinking about, well, what could I have done differently there, Jimbo? What could you have done differently there? And then I tell myself I'll do something different, forget what that thing was, don't change my tactics, and then get the exact same result again. So
it's really like this, this meme, like I bet he's thinking about other girls.
And
then it's like
exactly.
But what if I really need to play 4-2-4?
Yeah, I should have played 4-2-3.
Surely I outnumber his defense.
Exactly. Awesome. Is there anything else we need to?
No, I think.
Or Alexis, anything? Well, we heard about your amazing plan, so I think you have your work cut out for you to do.
Yes.
It was really. We both. I think Jimbo. We both love this idea. I think it's amazing, and we can't wait to use it. I want to see those overperforming, underperforming XG stats. I would love to have that, or player ratings.
The Calvin stat.
Jimbo, anything?
No, I'll just say, we had the question about what are the next features you're working on. You've basically said, well, fuck the features, just get
a whole new thing.
Bring up a new app. Bring up a new app. Like I love the ambition, and I know you'll deliver, and that's because the great work you've done with MFL Assistant. I just know already that MFL coach will be phenomenal. So we look forward to seeing the first iterations in the next couple of months, hopefully, or whenever it does come out. But if there's anything that we can do as a community, as a pod to help you in any way with feedback, please let us know. We want to help the assistant and the coach. We want to help you produce the best MFL coach you can, but allow MFL managers to be the best coach they can. Marsh. And bring the upsetter meter.
Perfectly said.
Yes. Yeah, and then we're curious maybe in another 50 episodes what where you are. So
ladies and gentlemen, #time, and you could even guess what we were going to do because we mentioned it probably a short while ago. hashtag upsetometer, or if it's too much to type, just put upset meter, hashtag upset meter, hashtag upsetometer. How good would it be to see, you rate the engine with a couple of smiley faces of 1 to 10, and it gives a general gauge of how everyone's feeling, how satisfied or dissatisfied everyone is with the engine. But maybe that's a feature we want to see on MFL Coach. So hashtag upsetometer before the ref blows that full-time whistle. It's a minimum of added time, not a maximum, it's a minimum, so we can keep going on with stoppages. I want to say a massive thank you to Alexis for his second appearance on the podcast. Insightful as ever, and we very much look forward to what the future holds in your developments. Thank you for being on the pod, my man. It's been a delight to have you on.
Thank you for the invitation, as always. And I hope to see you before 2026 back on the pod. But,
We'll guarantee that. When MFL Coach comes on, and we need to get
we need to have an episode with
engagement
MFL
about a coach.
Yes.
MFL Coach.
Could be a good idea.
We've got it written down. We've got it written down already. Right. Thank you for that. The ball's just gone out for a goal kick to the winning side. Everyone looks to the ref. Whistle blown. There we go, folks. That is end of today's episode. Make sure you're registered. Actually, I hope you're registered because, if you're registering now, you're taking a penalty, which could be a bit harsh. But the next time you listen to us will be season 4 already kicking off. So good luck in season 4, everyone. And thank you for listening. And we'll see you this time next week for an episode of the WenDirkCast. Thank you for listening.